Hi, I'm Una. Welcome back or to my channel. I haven't filmed a video in a really long time, but I'm back for another update for my Pan That palette. So, sorry about the weird background. I apologize if there are construction noises. There's really nothing I can do about that. There's just construction ongoing every day except Sunday. Forever. It's been going on for probably a month. And I don't anticipate stopping anytime soon because they have to, I think, build a whole new apartment building. So, yes. Last time I released an update was August. And I believe I filmed it in my old room, the other room. Yeah, so it is now November. I have not been wearing makeup a lot, so now is time for the update. So I'm gonna do my totally normal format, except it'll just be like 3 months instead of 2, or instead of 3 months instead of 1. So yeah, that's just gonna be how it is. And I'll reevaluate at the end of the year if I want to keep going with these or do a slightly different format, but yeah. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm working on 12 shades with the goal broadly to use up, and then 3 shades with the goal to work on Expand Pan. When I started the project, everything had a pan in it, or had gotten to that point at some point. Some of them were repressed. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna give you the number of uses since the last update, so basically since August, and then the total number of uses in the whole project, which I believe I started in December of last year, so we're almost to the 1-year mark. Yeah. So first, I have the 11th shade from my Carly Bible palette. This is a cream shade. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is now. So yeah, there's not a lot in it. I've actually had some good progress. I feel like I've used it 31 times since the last update, which is great, and I feel like I've been using it kind of more substantially, so I probably have like maybe a quarter left. It's pressed pretty thinly, it's pretty powdery. I've used it a total of 134 times in the project. It's my most used shade. So yeah, I have hope. Definitely this one I think is one that I can definitely finish by the end of the year. My original goal was to use up 2 cream shadows entirely, and I just like have not. Like I said, been wearing makeup as much, so I'm really fine just using up this one. It's older than the other one, and smaller, and you know what, cream eyeshadows are easy to use and easy to come across, so if I had used up both, I would honestly be out of a cream eyeshadow and I might want one, so I'm in no rush. Alright, next is the shade Vermeer from the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. This is what it looked like last month, and this is what it's looking like today. So it's kind of hard to tell because the pan is rusted, it's a little gritty, but I have just like a big pan in the middle, sloping off to the sides. I used this one 26 times. I do think this is fine. A lot of people use up this shade by wearing it as a highlighter. I find it looks just like super icy and unnatural, and I just don't really like it. Sometimes I put a little bit on my nose, but I really just use it as an inner corner highlight, and I find that that's just like the most I want to use it. So obviously it's not going to get a ton of use that way. In terms of volume, it gets very frequent use. I wear it almost every day that I wear any makeup, which is not every day clearly, because if you only used it 26 times in like 2 months, but I feel like I'm using it as much as I can, and I'm okay with it. And I honestly also don't feel like I need to use up every single last bit, but I probably will at some point just for fun. Yeah, anyway. The next shade is the 9th shade from the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. This is what it looked like last month, or last update, and this is what it's looking like now. So yeah, I definitely have used some, as far as I can remember. It's changing texture just a little bit, so I do really like this shade. It's also getting a little bit hard to pick up, so I might repress this. I'm not quite sure. I do really like it. I would really like to use it all up. I don't know that I'll be able to make it by the end of the year to use it like all up unless I get a huge resurgence of motivation to wear makeup. But I do really like the shade, and I would like to use it up eventually, and I'm definitely most of the way there. So that's exciting. The next shade is the 7th shade from the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. This is what it looked like last update. and here it is now. So I have expanded the pan a little bit. I've used it, I used the last shade 9 times, or sorry, I used the last shade 12 times for a total of 59 uses, and I've used this shade 11 times for a total of 39 uses. So this is just like, it's a matte, it's very like firmly in there. I only put it in this project because it like, I really do apologize for the construction noises, and they just are getting worse. But this is the only time I have to film this. It's the only time I felt motivated to film a video and like at the right time for a long time. So I'm just gonna keep going. And it's not like my videos are of the highest quality anyway. Look at this uneven lighting. But anyway, I did use this. I feel like I've been using this more than I have. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Definitely not numerically, but maybe percentage-wise more, because I've just been wearing makeup so infrequently that I noticed it. But yeah, this definitely, I thought maybe there was a chance that I'd use it up in a year. Clearly, I just don't really like it that much, but I'm glad to have expanded the pan at least a little bit. Next is the shade Golden Ochre from the ABH Modern Renaissance. This is what it looked like last update, and here it is now. I think, as far as I can tell, it looks basically the same. I have used this 10 times for a total of 41 uses. So yeah, definitely, I'm sure over the course of the year the pan has expanded a little bit. This is very powdery shadow, but it's just like not a favorite. I can't really decide what to do with it a lot of the time, so I use it when I can, and otherwise it's just not getting a ton of use, and that's okay. Next is the shade Warm Taupe, also from ABH Modern Renaissance. This is what it looked like last update, and here it is today. So this one has, I have expanded the pan a lot. I basically cleared out like a whole side. I use this in my eyebrows like almost every day, so I've used this 31 times, and again, every day that I wear makeup, for a total of 121 uses in the project. So yeah, and I have worn this a lot. Very often I've worn this both in my eyebrows and as an eyeshadow like I did today, and I still count that as one use. For whatever reason. But yeah, I really like this eyeshadow. I really like just like a neutral brown look like I have today, and I think I will be able to finish this by the end of the year. Maybe not completely, maybe there'll be a couple corners, but generally this is one of my candidates for completion by the end of the year because I just use it very frequently. Next is the other cream shade. I just haven't used it, so that's boring. After that, I have a shade from my True Naked Nudes palette by CoverGirl in the shade Mink. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is today. I think it looks about the same. I have used it 9 times, which is not a lot, and for whatever reason, after I hit pan, it's just like very slow going. Just like kind of working it more flat in the pan. There's definitely, it's not a ton, and maybe if I finish one of the smaller round pans, I might put it in there so it's like a little bit more condensed, but yeah, I don't think I'll finish this by the end of the year, and I'm fine with that. It's not very sparkly, and I just have generally these days, if I put makeup on at all, I'm going for a little bit more impact. Next is the shade Buon Fresco, also from the ABH Modern Renaissance. This is what it looked like last update, and here it is now. So I do think I made some good progress on this. It's also about like half done, although it's like a little bit more built up. So I think I have about as much of this as I do of Warm Taupe, and it's another candidate I think for me for using up by the end of the year. I don't wear this every day. I've used it 16 times since last update for a total of 75 uses. So not a lot. Oh yeah, and I used Mink 57 times. I don't remember if I said that. So this is 16 uses this past update time, 2 months, for a total of 75 uses. But when I do use it, I feel like I do use quite a bit because I really like the color in the pan, and so I kind of want to build it up, and it is powdery as all of these ABH shadows are. And yeah, so this is definitely a candidate to use it up. It's also like a wintry color. So like this plus the Carly Bible shade, the shimmer shade, are like really nice together. So hopefully those will both get used up. Next is this Franken shade that I'm calling Shiggorath because that's the pan that it's in. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is now. So I just repressed this actually like today back in the middle because it was getting really hard to pick up. It was basically only around the sides, like past the middle ring. I used it 11 times for a total of 51 uses in the project. This is not my favorite shade. It's just like a little bit too pink. The base is like really pink, but I do think I can use this up by the end of the year, especially if I'm using it with Buon Fresco and with the Carly Bible shade and like another extra sparkly shade on top or something like that. Yeah, I definitely think I can use this up, so looking forward to that. Okay, next is a mystery gold single shade that I got in an Ipsy bag. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is now. I think it looks about the same. I've used it 6 times for a total of 35 uses in the project. This is not a favorite shade of mine. I don't wear it a lot. I had it in my like secondary palette, so I might try to pull it into my primary palette because now is like fall. It might be a good time to wear it, even though we're definitely going to the end of fall, but I'm not too worried about trying to use this up because I know that I don't really like it, so that's okay. I used to be so into warm tones. I just think they make my like complexion look a little bit weird. I don't know. I've looked back at photos of myself from like 2020 when I was wearing warm tones all the time, and I just like cringe a little bit. I just don't really love the way it looks. So yeah. Next, this is basically the last of the main shades that I'm trying to use up. It is the 15th shade from the Carly Bible palette. This is what it looked like last month, and here it is now. I don't really think you can see too much of a difference. Maybe a little bit expanded. I have used it 21 times for a total of 95 uses. I was gonna say I don't know what I was thinking trying to use this up. I did think it would be hard, but I didn't think it would be this hard. Like, I have not used even like a quarter of this, but you know, that's okay. It's a nice brown. I'm wearing it today. I like it. It's nice that it's like in a small pan. It makes it really easy to like make a custom palette with a dark brown in it, so I'm not actually mad at it. But yeah, definitely not gonna finish by the end of the year, but I still enjoy using it, so that's fine. In this project, I've also been working on a Super Shock shadow in the shade Amaze. It's just so crumbly. I just never want to wear this. So I'm gonna call it quits on this and just say this is like a declutter. I did use a lot of it, like that's how much is left, so I might count it as an empty, to be honest. There's like maybe a quarter, like less than a quarter left, and it's really old. I don't know. Let me know what you think about calling this an empty. It's just so crumbly, like you basically can't even use it anymore, and I could like buy Duraline, but I don't really want to do that either to use this shadow that I don't even love. So I used it 4 times in the last month for a total of 25 uses in the project. 24 more uses over the course of this year. Like, I'm so happy with that. I can just like call it. Okay, for the other couple shades that I've been working on, the first is Antique Bronze, also from the Modern Renaissance. The construction noises are so annoying. I really hope you can't hear them very much, but this is what it looked like last update, and here it is now. I've only used it 3 times for a total of 11 uses in the project. I just wasn't really working on this most of the year, and I just dropped it. Cool, love that. Yeah, I don't mind the shadow, but I just tend to reach for the other kind of shimmery brownish color more. It's a little warmer, a little shimmerier, so it's whatever. Next, I have the shade I've been reaching for instead of it, which is the 14th shade from the Carly Bible palette. This is what it looked like last update, and here it is now. I think I've expanded the pan a little bit. I have used it 16 times for a total of 67 uses, so I'm not mad at that at all. It's whatever. I'm like not in a rush to finish it up or anything. And then the last shade I've been working on, I thought I would kind of roll this in once I finished a Vermeer, but I just haven't done that, so I clearly haven't used it at all, which is fine. Last year I had like a really good panning year. I was just like really into wearing makeup and keeping track of everything, so I like ran through a lot of my goals pretty quickly. So this year I wanted to make sure that I had lots of goals lined up, but it just didn't quite work out the same way, and that's fine. You know, sometimes you're like really into something for a period of time and then you just like lose interest for a while, and that totally has been panning for me. It's been on and off, and last year was just like I was really into it for a lot of the year, and this year I just have not been. I think definitely going to Greece helped that, and being really, really busy this semester has helped that. It's my last year of college, so I'm trying to like get as much out of it as I possibly can. Anyway, this construction noise is really getting on my nerves, and so I have been pausing sometimes to hope that it decreases and then it just starts back up again. But yeah, I do still think there are probably 4, maybe 5 shades that I can finish by the end of the year or very soon thereafter, and I'm excited about that. And I will try to keep focused on that. I do kind of want to focus on wearing makeup more, just to get that kind of like morning routine or like beginning of day routine in there. I do think that like that's something that would help. Obviously not because I need to wear makeup, but because just like doing something to feel like I'm being intentional about my day and my whole outfit and everything, I think that makes me feel good. So even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just putting on, you know, Vermeer in the inner corner and filling out my brows a little bit and a little bit of blush, which is what I do often, I think that it would be nice to have that routine. So yeah, I have made some progress. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, ideas for next year's Pan That palette. I guess I'll see what the like Fantastic Ladies prompt is. This is kind of with their prompt, which is kicking it old school, I think. These are very old shadows, like all of them. I don't think there's one new shadow in here, not one that is less than 7 years old. I think I got these all in 2016 or earlier. So yeah, that's pretty old, and that's part of why I wanted to work on these. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I keep saying I'm trying to get more regular with the videos, and then I just keep really not doing it, and so I'm not going to make any promises. This is filmed in early November. It might not be posted for weeks. We will just have to see. But yeah, thanks for everybody who commented on my last video and everything. I do really love being part of this community. It's just really hard to devote time to when there's like 50 other things I could be spending my time on. So yeah, see you in the next one.